what's up? It's your girl Camera and you're watching Camera Music TV, and I'm back with another Real Housewives of Atlanta review, season 11, episode 18. This was Eva's wedding, so this should be a real quick review. Well, it should have been, but there was a whole lot of talk about Nene, a whole lot of focus on Nene on Eva's big day. So I'm like, you know, as far as this review, we gonna talk about it, okay? So if you guys are new here, make sure you subscribe down below to my channel, like this video, share the video, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Camera Music TV, and comment down below on what you thought about the show, because that's what I like to do. I like to dialogue with y'all on the happenings of the show, just like I do on Twitter, okay? So anyway, let's get into it. So it is the day of Eva's wedding. I missed the first couple minutes of it. Not gonna wait for it to come back on because Don't Be Tardy is on. No, I'm not giving that my views, okay? So from what I could see, everyone's getting ready for the wedding. You got Cynthia and Mike. Mike is there, Chill is there. Cynthia looks good. Anytime she has that blonde, the middle part is good for her, but then the blonde accents, I mean, Cynthia's beautiful anyway, but it's something about that blonde bombshell type looks good, okay? Candy's hair. Can we talk about Candy's bob? It was so full and voluminous, and like it just had body, and it was just moving, and I just was just in awe of this bob because I love bobs, but the one thing about them is when they're stiff, I can't do it, okay? I gotta have a full bob. It's got to move with me. It's got to, I mean, when Candy would turn her head, the bob would still be turning with her. I mean, y'all ever seen them bobs that move like a helmet? This is not one of those. The bob was everything. Even when she had the ombre one in the confessional, I was just like, yes, yes, ma'am. That is how you do a bob. So we are trying to, let me get to my notes here. We're trying to get everyone to the wedding, okay? So we got Chill riding with the Tuckers, and Shamari was supposed to ride with Nene, but she gets a phone call from Nene saying, you know, she don't know if she's gonna come. Now, if you remember correctly, Nene was supposed to give this toast. Remember, it was such a huge deal because she's like a big sister to Eva, and so this toast, I feel like it got downplayed as this episode came on, right? Because Nene had so much that was going on with her, right? So Nene's saying that she don't know if she's gonna come, so Shamari calls Tanya to ride with Tanya and Paul, I think his name is. And so they ride together. So we get to this wedding, and it is beautiful. It's beautiful, okay? Not only were the decorations, you know, it's a celebrity wedding, so of course, like, the decorations are gonna be epic, you know, the outfit changes, the tuxes, like all of that, yeah, but you could just feel, even through the TV screen, regardless of all of Nene's extra, you could just feel like a certain presence, right? When Eva came down that aisle and she was just boohoo crying, and then her dad was boohoo crying, and you know, I couldn't tell if Michael was crying, but it just, there was this one part when they were like, you know, getting everybody walking in, and they were like, I only need the bride in here. And they kind of got Eva, and she was in the mirror, and somebody was fanning her, and she was crying. Now, I had that same exact moment. From what it looked like to me, she probably was feeling the way I was, frustrated, okay, hot, want to be happy, don't know why I'm not happy, trying to get my emotions together, lots of emotions going on, everybody's asking me questions, you know, it's hot in here, are you hot? I'm hot, I want coffee, I want alcohol, I want ibuprofen, and yes, I had all three that morning, because I couldn't quite get my footing, like, there are a lot of questions coming towards me. And so Eva, she had that very frustrated cry, but luckily they were fanning her, they were getting her together, okay? I really liked the gate that opened up when it was time for her to come down the aisle. I liked Marley's dress. She looked beautiful. It just was really, really nice. So they wrote their own vows, and it was very, very emotional, very emotional. The reason why me and my husband did not write our own vows is because of the emotional stuff with it, okay? I planned my own wedding, and with lots of help, but I planned my own wedding, and so it was very important to me the last week before the wedding to get my emotions together and remember why we're doing this and who I'm doing it with and who it's about. And so we did not know we were going to get emotional. When you're up there, you might think you're not an emotional person. But when you're up there and all your friends and family are around you, and you're looking at the man you love in a dress that you'll never wear again, hopefully, in a dress you'll never wear again, and you see your husband and he's, or your partner or your wife, and they're just dressed and you're just like, wow, like, wow. And so, you know, when I came down the aisle, my husband was crying and I was just like, one for me. And then I started crying because I think it was just so heavy. It was my turn to speak and I was just like, oh, hold on, because I could just feel my lip was just quivering, child. So anyway, so the wedding was beautiful. The $1,000 a plate though, nope, unless she just had a place that was just all one package type of thing. And you know, he was running for mayor, right? So he probably had some like prestigious people there, and you know, so that's kind of different. But you know, even Candy's wedding, they had BBD there and she had lions and stuff. She was saying that she didn't pay that much per plate. So while all the beautifulness and fabulousness is going on, Nene does show up without Greg. She is there with somebody named Brandon, and Marlo shows up later on. And as they're doing their vows, you know, lots of people are crying. Lots of people are just enthralled, just like taken aback by just what's going on in front of them, right? And Nene's crying, and something I did not like that Bravo was doing, they were flashing back to Nene and Greg's wedding. And so you could see that Nene was having a hard time dealing with it because her and Greg are going through their stuff. And so to me, it was taken away from Eva's moment, making it about Nene. And I feel like on this franchise, they often do make it about Nene because obviously she's the OG. She's the one who's been there from the beginning. But it was just annoying to me because it's like y'all are taking away from Eva's beautiful day. So it's very clear that whatever Nene and Greg are going through is very deep, very thick, you know, type of thing. So it's not fair of us to think that Nene should just put it to the side for this wedding. But I did not like the editing, how they were focusing so much on the yin and the yang and like comparing, and like I didn't like it. So Nene waits till the wedding is over. They're cheering. They're, you know, announcing now Mr. and Mrs. Sterling. She rushes off. She's crying. Of course, Marlo is running off behind her. And, you know, one thing I noticed about Cynthia with her being with her man, she was not so much like the let me run after her and see if she's okay. She was just like, she was crying and, you know, she's going to be okay. Or she was, you know, she has a lot going on. So, let me see what these notes, child, because that just bothered me to my core. But we see, so they're doing this transition, you know, probably the cocktail hour going on. Shamari is starting to take her shots and her drinks, and I was just like, she gonna be good. So Candy and Portia are sitting in the hall and they get to see Eva, and Eva has all these people carrying her dress. And I wanted to say about the dresses, some people thought that it was excessive for her to have 3 dresses. It may have been a little excessive. I do understand why she had 2 dresses, because Eva was very much about pleasing her mother, pleasing like certain people. And so her first dress, I feel like, was the more traditional, royal type, classy type, conservative dress. And so she's like, I gave them that. Now let me get in what I would wear, what I want to wear. And then the last dress was like something for me to leave with and, you know, be comfortable, whatever. So, I will say that for my wedding, I know y'all gonna get tired of hearing about this. I felt like this dress is expensive. I didn't pay for it. My godmom blessed me with this dress, but I felt like the dress is expensive. We don't need to be doing all these outfit changes when I don't even know if all these people are really gonna come. Like, and I'm glad I didn't end up getting a whole bunch of dresses because the wedding ended up getting cut short. It was was just a lot going on. So anyway, so Kandi and Porsha are talking in the hall, and they're actually getting along, and I'm liking this. I don't know if it's because Porsha is pregnant and she's realizing like the petty stuff, it no longer matters to her. I don't know if Kandi sees her pregnant and sees that they're actually serious, so the petty stuff no longer matters to her. I don't know. But it's interesting what God does, how God brings people together. They clearly had an issue with Nene. Something happened with Nene, a falling out with her. But they got back cool in the midst of that. So they're back there talking to Eva. In the meantime, or meanwhile, Shamari is still taking shots, acting a doggone fool. She's talking to Nene, and she's talking about her husband being sick. And you guys know we all have this friend that just gets loud and super friendly and touchy when they drink. Okay, I'm trying to think if that ever was me. I don't think I ever was super friendly. I was the aggressive drunk. You know, if I start drinking too much, I felt like I could just fight everybody. And you know, I've never been in a fight in my life, so I don't know what I was thinking, but I was more like that. I don't really get drunk anymore. Like in the past 5 or 6 years, I don't really do that no more. But back when I used to be ready to anybody around, anybody could get it, okay? And but never got in no fight because I was clearly all bark no bite. But she's just, you know, Nene they're treating her like a fan almost, okay? Later on when she's like, Nene, oh my gosh, Nene, I love you, are you okay? I was just like, Kandi had to get her. She was like, come here, you need some water. I said, yeah, somebody get her some water and some goody powder, because it's gonna be a mess for her in the morning. And Shamari on Watch What Happens Live just now, she was saying, you know, she's still going with this I'm a new mom thing, and I haven't drank in 2 years, and so my tolerance is different. And yeah, all that is true. So that means since you're aware of your tolerance, limit your drink intake, because you out here is cameras. We're on a whole show. The blogs are probably here. Like, it's a lot. Like, and Kandi was trying to save her from all that clearly. So Eva's getting into her second dress, and Nene is pulling Cynthia aside. Now, I'm sitting here thinking the whole time, Cynthia is rarely ever with her man, okay, because they're long distance. They come to this event together. She's probably not trying to keep getting pulled aside and having to see about Nene. She's already had to do that a lot in their friendship. So as this is going on, and just even seeing the fact that they've fallen out recently, I kind of feel like Cynthia might be growing tired of this whole back and forth with Nene. Okay, I understand she's going through stuff, and you know, you need your friends around, but I wanted to say that her behavior is not excused just because of what she's dealing with. Now, if she was the one who had cancer, then maybe we could deal with her being cranky, grumpy, mean, you know, an asshole, just period, for no reason. But it's like, you could hire help to help Greg so that this does not put so much on y'all marriage. And you know, maybe it is bad. Maybe you do need to take a break or just a breather away from each other. I don't know. I've never been a caretaker and a wife all in one. I mean, unless when my husband has had like a cold and he's been grumpy towards me, he gets over in a couple days. I complain when it's over. But something like cancer that's like detrimental to your life, I can imagine I would be emotional every day. I would not want to smile about things. I would not want to look at things on a better, like on the positive side. You know, I would have my days where I want to sulk in how I feel and the fact that I got this. I'd have my days where I'd be like, why me? And then I'd have my days where I'm more optimistic or whatever. And unfortunately, when you marry somebody, they have to be down for all that. And it's kind of unfair to ask somebody to be down for all that, but you promise that when you say I do. So I don't really know how I feel about the whole Nene situation. I just feel like in this situation with Kandi and Porsha, she cannot just say that her wrong is excused because of what she's going through. And I feel like, as I'm saying it sounds like a double standard for her and Greg. So Nene's telling Cynthia that she, I didn't forget where I was at. See, I get on these tangents. Nene's telling Cynthia that her and Greg are talking about separating, like living in separate homes. And Cynthia's saying, you know, she didn't realize that it was that deep. And is she sure? Whatever. You know, so clearly Nene's having a rough time at this wedding through everything that she's going through. So we get to this talk. You know, I'm thinking, why we gotta have this talk at the wedding? But because of how Nene's acting, it's like you can't not have this talk, because she don't know how to just come in and just be like, oh, hey everybody, you know what happened the other day, I'm not tripping about it. She's not like that. She holds grudges, and she treats you a type of way, and she throws shade, and she's just mean and nasty towards you. And so you have to almost address even the small things. Something like that, it just would have been like whatever, because it's just not that deep, right? So Cynthia, Nene, Marlo, Candy, Portia sitting in the back. They done brought extra chairs out for it and everything. And they are talking about the whole closet incident. Portia, well, the issue was that Candy and Portia feel like Marlo went back and told Nene what they thought and what they said, and told it to her in a certain tone, in a certain type of way that wasn't conducive to how they said it. So they felt like, give me my chance in court. Let me talk to her and tell her about a situation that involves me. I don't need you to tell it for me, okay? And, you know, Marlo is fixing Candy's hair. I feel like it's just demeaning. Don't stop, okay? Let me explain I don't need you to touch my hair and fix anything on me. I don't know how I like Marlo's role now. She's very, like, kiss up to Nene type of thing, and play like her sidekick, and play like, that's not the Marlo I remember. Okay, so I don't know if she's really trying to get on this show. I don't know what it is, but Cynthia has stopped doing that, and Marlo has picked it up. So they're just basically explaining to Nene that they didn't like the way that they were spoken to. It's not that big of a deal, but they wanted to be able to let her know themselves, and not it being this big thing where Marlo's telling them stuff. So Candy's asking her, you know, and I heard that she was calling us, you know, bitches and all this and whatever. And Nene's like, I never said that. Did I say that? Marlo's like, no, I don't remember any of that. And I'm like, come on, Nene. Like, the problem that I have with Nene is, own your stuff. What you did was out of line. But let them know, like, I'm going through a lot of stuff. I'm going through a lot of stuff. So all the stuff that I'm going through is causing me to act in a type of way that I'm not proud of. I'm sorry for that. I did feel like you guys were out of line going in my closet. It don't take much to just keep it real. Accept your wrong and tell them how you felt they were wrong. You don't have to be black or white. You can learn to be gray, y'all. I'm trying to learn how to be gray and pull from each side. Just be real and be honest about stuff. I was upset about you guys going in my closet because of the stress I'm under, because of my husband, because of all this going on. I am not myself. I'm not cheery, fun Nene. I'm angry, bitter Nene. So because of that, that deflected onto you, or that was cast onto you, and I'm sorry for that, but I felt disrespected when you did ABC. She did not do that. What happened here was she deflected the attention to what she's going through and how she needed them to be with her, and she wanted them to support her every once in a while for once in their lives. And you know, they crack, of course, because it's Nene, and Nene is able to get people to stop whatever they feel or whatever they're complaining about and come to her and listen to her woes. And that, to me, is not a good friend, because we all have our stuff. We all have our stuff. And it's like, nobody, even if it was Nene, even if it was somebody else going through it, Nene should not be expected as a friend to stop her whole life to accommodate somebody else. Nobody should ever, because we all have our lives, we all have bills, we all have married, some of us have kids, some of us, we all have things. So you should never be expected to stop your whole everything for anyone on this earth. That is, when you do that for someone, that is something extra that you're doing. You can show support in so many different other ways. That's still accommodating to someone. I'm not going to cater to you unless you're the man that I sleep with, or unless you're the kids that I feed, or, you know, it just makes me upset when people expect you to just stop it all. Stop all your everything to cater to them over and over and over. It's one thing if somebody has passed, if someone is sick, like this time in Nene's life, they are being more than patient with her. Because I feel like Portia, if that was Kenya, she probably would have popped off. Like, that stuff like that, like, they're being very supportive with you. They're talking to you calmly. They're letting you know, like, this was not our intention. And she's still got an attitude with them. So then she's talking about she's not going to do the toast. And then they all like, oh, why, Nene? Why? Like, you have to stay. Like, she wanted you to do it so bad. And I'm just like, she was going to do the toast. She was going to do the toast. Like, Nene ends up giving the toast. It was not anything spectacular. I mean, it was definitely one that Candy could have gave, Portia could have gave, anybody could have gave. But I guess it was just special that Nene gave the toast. She got through it, and I believe she left right after that. So, that was Real Housewives of Atlanta, y'all, this week. I think we got like 2 or 3 more episodes until we get to the reunion, which I am so ready to see. You guys leave down below what you thought about this week's episode. I'm Kim Ray, and this is Kim Ray Music TV. Subscribe down below. Like the video, share the video, and follow me on Instagram and Twitter. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!